The party
Guy
was lame to me.
Fieri.
Fieri.
That's the fun.
Yeah.
So they're trying to track him down. Mora's at the party.
I just want to say, you are never allowed to pick the freaking theme for anything again. Okay. Albuquerque, fire truck. We're just yelling out words now? What's going on here? Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of BS Drunk Movie Reviews. This is a weekly podcast that we do upload the video version of this to our YouTube channel, so be sure to check us out there. My name is Matt, and as always, I'm being joined by my co-host and sister, Vetta.
Hi, guys. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Living
That's
the
good.
dream.
And on this episode, we have a special guest, my twin brother, and Vetta's just brother, Marlin. Marlon, how you doing?
Hello.
Hello.
Doing great. Living the dream.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you
Fuck
are.
you. Oh my God. I have a funny story real quick.
Go ahead.
So there's a person that I know that I said to him, yeah, I do a podcast with my brother and we're having my other brother, his twin on. And he goes, you're a triplet? And I was like, what part of that said I was a
See,
triplet?
You should have said yes. Yes, I'm a triplet.
A part of me, I go, how is that? What? I just go, what? And he goes, you said your brother, and then you said twin, and he's like, so are they twins? And you're the triplet, but they're twins within the triplet? And I was like, no, but I kind of wish now it was so that I could like screw with people explaining that.
You're just like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude?
Seriously, like, how did we get here?
Okay.
Even that when he was explaining it, you should have said yes. I'm a triplet.
Just agreed to that, but that's what I do whenever.
Yes to everything.
That's what I do. That's what I do. When
Yes.
somebody says something, I'm just like, yes. Okay. All right. So, guys, sorry. On this episode, we're going to be talking about the movie Ratboy. That's right. So good.
Yes, we are.
But before we get started on this, I want to talk about two things. But we're going to ask the most important question of the night, and that is, what are you drinking? And Marlon, we'll start with you. What are you drinking tonight, buddy?
Right.
Nice. Is there a little vodka in there?
No, I don't drink. I don't drink booze. Sorry, fans.
Sorry,
Okay,
fans.
I'll
Yeah,
pick
it's
up
fine.
for ya.
Yeah, we'll pick up the pace for you. Okay, Vetta, what are you drinking tonight?
I am drinking Matt the Rat.
Yeah, look at you.
It's
It's
rum.
Matt Cat, by the way.
Yeah, I know, but it's
Anyway,
still funny.
I know.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
so
What is
it's
it?
rum, orange juice, triple sec, lime juice, and Sprite.
That sounds
And it's supposed to have a lime wedge garnish, but you know how I feel about garnishes in a drink.
Yeah, I don't do garnishes either. Okay, so I'm just having a daiquiri. I'm having a daiquiri because I'm lazy. I didn't feel like making anything. And then for my backup, I have my White Claws because you know me and my White Claws. They're so good. And then
I have garnishes still.
And then for my triple backup, I have a cup of coffee, but it's got hot damn in it.
Nice.
It's got 2 shots in there.
I
Anyways,
haven't
okay.
had hot damn in a hot minute.
Yeah, you haven't. Okay, so let's get into this movie and everything. But before we talk about the movie, I want to just talk about something. But okay, so Ratboy, Sandra Locke, best known. Oh gosh, hold on, let me. Sandra Locke makes her directorial debut and stars in the bittersweet story of an eccentric young woman who becomes involved with a highly unusual young man. A highlight of the 1986 Dual American Film Festival, Variety calls her offbeat Ratboy the revolutionary of the festival. Also, okay, so it's a movie about a woman that finds a mutant. Okay, but before I bring up the movie and we talk about this, I want to talk about Ratboy himself. Okay, okay. So
I want to talk about Ratboy himself.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, Ratboy isn't a rat boy because he's played by a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's
Played by a woman.
But were any of you like myself who just thought he just looked like Martin Short?
Yeah.
I thought maybe he looked like Martin. Yes.
The whole time I was looking up, I was like, is this Martin Short? in this
This
movie.
is like
I don't
pre-puberty Martin Short.
yeah. Like the whole time I was just like, oh my God, this looks so much like. I was like, Martin, what are you doing, buddy? You don't need this role. You don't need in this movie. But I was just loving every minute of Ratboy and everything. It was so good.
Okay.
So good.
Can I want to admit, when I started watching this, because I hadn't seen this movie since we were kids, and I'm talking like 9, 10 years old.
Right.
Yeah.
So when I started watching it, I was like, I don't remember the Ratboy looking so feminine in his face. And I was like, is it a girl? And then I thought, and then Sandra Locke, I was like, did she play dual roles in this? Because she looks like that. Her face structure looks like Ratboy's a little bit. So I had to go online and look up the cast. Yeah, it's funny. I was laughing when I looked up the cast and I saw it was this older lady, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, man, Sandra Locke, something happened."
That's so funny. I didn't even think about that, but that's good. That's good. I like that. Okay, let's pull up this movie. So many thoughts. Okay, so this movie came out in 1986, and it is of the time. Let me just tell you that right now and everything. So it starts. We're in LA. We're in LA, right? This is LA, right?
Yes.
Because I was a little confused. Okay.
No, it's LA.
So it starts off in this junkyard, right? And these kids are in this junkyard, and one of them's shooting off a rifle like it's down south, and the other two are in
I can't remember what movie the one shooting plays off, but he is in a couple of different 80 movies, kind of playing the exact same guy he's playing now. And then that kid is the Children of the Corn's kid.
You mean this Ratboy himself? This guy's ugly.
Yeah,
I love how there's this.
They should just call it the movie Rat. Just rat everybody. That's what they should call
it. Because so this guy, he's like, they hear a little noise or whatever, and they're like, I wonder if it's him. And she's like, if it's who? And he's like, Ratboy. And
no, they say Rat Man.
Didn't he say Rat Man? He goes,
yeah,
Rat Man.
Yep.
And I love, and then she's like, stop it, you're just playing with me. And then he goes in to make out with her and shit. And I was like, ew, she's gross. But then again, he's gross too. So I was like, it's fine, mix your grossness. Yeah. And then they hear another little ching or whatever and everything. And so she screams. She's like, ah! And he's like, we need to get the fuck out of here. I'm like, nothing happened, you guys. Like nothing even kind of happened.
I almost shut the movie off when that happened because the girl's like blood curdling. She's like, and I'm like, what? I had to rewatch it because I was like, what happened? I missed it. I blinked or something because
I was the same way. I was like, I was looking down and I missed it. I was like, did she see I thought she saw Ratboy like in the rear view mirror.
I was staring right at the screen and was like, wait, what happened?
What happened? What happened? She's just So then we get these two hillbilly guys, which I'm all like, I just want to say right now, I can't tell, like half this movie takes place in LA and the other half takes place in Alabama because because these two hillbillies show up, right? And they go through the junkyard and they find Ratboy's like little HUD
which is in the trunk of a old car to get down into the sewer.
Right, yeah,
it's
like he's like a lost boy.
An architect. He's building shit.
And they find.
I have a question. Did they have like a map to his lair? Because they went right to it. They went right down in there and they found him in the first 4 minutes of this film. And I'm like,
make the assumption they've been watching him or they followed him or something.
See, I think
they don't ever say.
I think they're just winging it. They just showed up and like, I think there's a Ratboy here.
I think if we open this trunk, it'll
you think Ratboy's in this thing down here? Yeah.
Yeah. So then like I don't know if these are cops or detectives or whatever. They show up and they're all like, yeah, they took the Ratboy or whatever and everything, and some of them are news crew, and then we get Sandra, what's her face, Sandra Locke, who's playing Nikki, right?
And now she's Nikki, just going through the garbage.
Yeah, she's picking up pearls and like fucking cushions and shit. And she's just like, and then we get this guy. Now I'm gonna tell you right now, I loved this guy. Like I was all like, he should have gotten some kind of
organized homeless person.
Yeah. And he's like, I would give him a doggy bowl with some food in it, and he'd eat it all up. I'm like, yeah, because he's fucking hungry. That's how eating works, my dude.
Yeah, that's how all rats do. When you give rats food, they eat
it. Yeah. So he's like,
like I said, I'm surprised he didn't turn around and see Sandra Locke and go, "Hey, there he is. Come here, little rat boy." You know.
But then he's all like, so when did you first see the Rat Man? He's like, it's Ratboy. And I'm like, oh, okay, sorry. Didn't mean to offend the creature.
No, he gets attitude. I've said it's Ratboy. I told you it's Ratboy.
And so Sandra, Nikki, she's listening this whole time. I love those glasses and that shirt. That's fine. So she's listening this whole time, and they're like, they left a note, and I'm like, how do you know that? How do you know that? And they're like, they left a note. Look for the note, and she finds it, and it says, "To whom it may concern," right? And so I'm like, this concerns no one. I just want to say that right now. It concerns no one. So she follows the map or the directions or whatever.
We talk about her Mercedes here real quick, which isn't a Mercedes, but she has attached a Mercedes emblem to the hood of this pink and white car that.
Nice. Well, I good for her. We need to talk. We're going to talk about her in a minute because I have thoughts on her. Hold on. I need to take a second.
Hey, real quick. I know that we're still into the beginning of this movie, but I had to rewind this part because I was I didn't understand why the cops were showing up when Ratboy got kidnapped. I'm like, did somebody tip them off? Like, did they say they got a tip? No, these cops just showed up out of nowhere.
No, I think the hillbilly guys called reporters and said, we have Ratboy. There's a note at the junkyard. And then the reporters are like, somebody kidnapped a boy.
I love that they're just like, these guys called me like, we kidnapped your Ratboy. And everybody's like, oh no, not our local Ratboy.
They got Ratboy.
We've got him. He's ours now.
They're just sitting there like, oh fuck me, they got Eugene, you guys. Okay, so
sorry.
No, you're good. So she goes and she's like, hello, it's me, to whom it may concern.
I got your note.
And so she turns around, and this guy's just staring at her like she's a fucking treat. And he's like, you a reporter? And she's like, and he's like smelling his chloroform that he's gonna take her with.
Oh my god! Yeah. No, this whole thing, she lets him blindfold her, put her back in her car, and drives her car.
Right.
Like he's dead.
And then he's telling his his brother, Rob or whatever. And he's Robert, and he's like, I blindfolded her and everything, and she's reporting. He's like, who are you with? She's like, I'm an independent. He's like, you didn't. He's like, I didn't know she was an independent. You didn't say you were an independent. I'm like, well, you didn't exactly get to know each other before you blindfolded her and and took her hostage, kind of thing. And she
just keeps making up these awards that she got.
Yeah, she's like, I won the Pendleton Award, and they're like, she's like, it's the highest award at independent.
She did the Silver Quill, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, and I was like, I think independent journalists can still win high awards, lady.
Yeah.
I'm like,
and then she's like, do you remember the trial of McDermott the murderer or whatever? I broke that story. That was mine. And they're like, who? And she's like, it was the only, the biggest court.
The biggest story ever.
Right.
Yeah. So she's a big bullshitter, right? And they're like, she's like, all right, let me see what you got. And they're like, we got Ratboy. And they're like, she's like, she comes out and she's like, I need to interview him and everything. She's like, I need like 10 minutes alone with him. I'm like, I wouldn't get alone with him, but whatever, and everything. So she goes in and she's like, hello.
Rats carry diseases, dude.
Yeah. This is what I want to ask you guys real quick. Hold on. Cause when we first see Ratboy, right, she goes in, and my favorite thing is Ratboy, he's just like, and then he like runs and tries to jump up into the chimney, right?
But his feet are hanging out. Does he not feel the draft?
And I love how I'm all like, and his toes are poking out of the shoes, right? And I'm all like, what's the point of shoes at this point, my dude? Like, what's Eugene? We got to get it together here. And I love the noises he makes in this movie. He's like and everything. And you're just like, and you're all like, what are you doing, dude? He's like the chef from the Muppets. He's like, Horgan, Jorgen, and you're all like, what are you doing, dude? And so she's all like, hey, she's like, I can see your feet, and she's like, I just want to talk to you, dude, and everything. And she's like, so finally he pops out and scares her, and she's like, oh shit, and everything. And
then he screams too, doesn't he? He's all, ah!
yeah, and everything. And he's
it's
all like,
ma'am.
It's ma'am. He's like, and he's like, read and everything. And she's all like, she's like, okay, fine. So she reads this Timmy the Mouse story, and he's falling in love with her or whatever. So she's all like, okay, she's like, I'm gonna get you out of here, kind of thing. She's like, what do you two want? And they're like, we want, this, and then the one guy's like, I want a gun. And I'm like, all right, that's a pretty good ask. And like, look at you asking for normal stuff and everything. So then she's like, okay. So these two dudes during the night, they're just being mean. So they're just hitting him with like pellets from a slingshot. And I'm all like, well, that's not very nice. I'm like,
I love that part.
Well, I love how the fat one's all like, later on, he's all like, you mean it's a boy? And I'm like, well, what the fuck do you think? You think it's a mutated rat? Like that's what I want to ask you guys about this. Do you think Ratboy is an actual boy, or is he like a mutated rat? Like, are we talking Splinter here, or are we talking like a boy, like, that's got some weird disease?
You think he was born this way, or he was made this way? Is that your question? Because
I think he snuck into Oscorp and got bit by a rat instead of a spider.
Well, and he like wants Nikki to find his like mom and dad, and he goes to like a house.
Later on, but are those his real parents? Are those just the people that raised him from rathood?
I don't know. This whole thing is so bizarre.
That's the thing. I was all like, I feel like a flashback was really needed in this movie, but I was like, we weren't I know.
See, what happened was his mom got bit by a rat when she was pregnant, and he got his DNA. He got the rat DNA in him.
Or did they just find a very large baby rat and take it home? And that's they nurtured and grew it, it mutated into a.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying he's a rat. I'm saying he's a rat that just is mutated.
They should be, guys. Listen to me. All right, listen, Matt. We get a hold of your friend Ian. We make Ratboy in 2027, right? And we just make it that they found a giant rat, and they're just coddling this rat. It's not even boy. It's just a rat. And they're calling it Ratboy. And it's just like, and like, it's like biting them and shit and giving them diseases. And the whole time they're like, it's a boy. It's Ratboy.
Ratboy. Okay. So.
And that's where his parents went. They died because he bit them and gave them diseases.
Yeah. Okay.
No, like they're pet shop owners. And they're like, oh, that's our rat. Give us our rat back, you idiot. Okay, sorry, I digress.
No, you're good. Well, I was all like, if there was a flashback, I just picture like Little House on the Prairie, but like with Ratboy, he's just frolicking in the field. He's just like frolicking in the field, and falling over, and his parents are all like, oh, that's our little Eugene.
That's our Timmy.
Yeah, just
somebody peeks in to see the baby in the stroller and sees the rat. Is like, that's a rat. It's not a baby.
All right, so Nikki shows up the next day with a gun for the fat one. What was the fat one's name? What was the fat one? The other one's name.
The fat one.
What'd you say?
I think we should just call him the fat one.
Oh, yeah, call him fat one because I don't remember his name either.
Yeah. Okay. So the fat one, so she gives him a gun and everything. And then, so she's all like, well, hey, and everything. And then this guy just pops up out of fucking nowhere with a camera. And she's like, say cheese. And he says, they're like, we said no pictures. And then there's a cop and he's like, oh no, a cop. And she's all like, you two are on parole and you're not supposed to have weapons, but she's like, you're kidnapping. And they're like, we got to get the fuck out of here and everything. So then this is her two brothers, and they get Ratboy, and they're like, we're gonna take you home. I love that
Louis Anderson is like, can I keep this hat?
Yeah, right.
I want to say, I didn't realize Louis Anderson died in 2022 when I was watching this. And I looked up. I'm like, wonder what he's doing now. And I'm like, well, nothing. He's dead. He's dead,
Yeah,
Marlin.
He's dead.
You paid attention.
There's a couple cameos in this movie that when we get to them, I want to talk about because I was like, I have thoughts. Okay. So then she's like, we're gonna get you into to movies and all this stuff, buddy. We're gonna do everything with you. So they get home.
Her golden ticket because she is a schemer and a scammer and just always looking for the quick way to be rich.
Yes, I want to do, which is what we're going to talk about right now. So they're like, this is mom's because okay. So this is what happens is she's like, we're going to take him around town and we're going to shop him around so we can make it big with Ratboy. Everybody's going to want Ratboy. And I'm like, are they though? And then they're like, yeah, well, who's funding? By the way, I love his shirt. They're like, who's funding this whole gig? And she's like, I am. And he's all like, and they're all like, and she's like, I took a second mortgage out on the house. And they're like, but this is mom's house. She's like, I'll pay her back. And I'm like, where is mom right now?
Like, he's in the back humping Ratboy.
I mean, like, I'm just all like, she's like, I'll pay her back. And I'm all like, well, where is she then? If you're
and I'm concerned that she was able to get a mortgage on a second home. That's not her home.
That's what I was going to say. I don't think you can get a mortgage on a second mortgage.
Listen, 1986 was crazy, guys. There was just crazy stuff going on.
Right on, Marlin. You don't love his shirt right now?
No, not at all.
Okay. That is 100% of women's shirt.
That's maybe that's why I like it.
That's his sister's shirt. He had nothing clean to wear.
This is mom's house. Hey, no shame.
So they're sitting there and so they're taking pictures of Ratboy and making him look all cool and everything. And he's just my favorite thing about him is like whenever he gets upset, he's just like and everything. And it's like, what do you mean? What does that mean? And everything.
And I love how his ear is just like a giant potato chip on the side of his head.
Right. So then, so now we get to one part that I absolutely love. I love this part so much. They instead of taking him to a doctor or a vet, in my opinion, he should have went to a vet. They take him to a spiritual advisor. And she's all like,
it's Billy Bird, who plays in so many 80s movies. Normally she's the grandma, not the psychic therapist, whatever she's.
I was hoping this was their mother. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I was all like, this would be so good if this was their mom. Like, hey mom, how's
that would have been so good. That would have been the
fantastic.
best.
Yeah. So hold on, I need to take a sip. So in this scene, right? So I love how she's all like, I could tell he was very in tuned and everything by his drawings. And then she's showing, now I don't know about you guys, but she's showing the drawings to everybody. And I couldn't see the drawings. Like I had to squint and I was like, I still can't see them. This is bad filming or whatever. And then later on we see one of his drawings and when we get to it, I'll show it and everything. But the whole time I'm like, what the fuck did you get from that? What do you mean? It's just a bunch of stick figures. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Well, let's remember she's a spiritual advisor. So
right.
Yeah, and doesn't she at one point go, I was really in tune with his what's it called? And then the lady goes, aura, and she goes, yeah, it was really nice. And I'm like, wait, shouldn't you know that?
So then they're just trying to get this kid to, do whatever. And Nikki is getting thrown out of businesses and shit because she's trying to sell Ratboy. She's like, look at that face. Everybody's going to want a piece of this kid. And I'm all like, I don't think so. He's kind of gross. Like, he's just like a gross little dude and everything. You're just like, I don't, thank you. So
I'm not gonna lie. When she said everybody's gonna want a piece of this kid, I thought the first place she would go would be Barnum and Bailey, but she didn't.
Right? Yeah, that would have been her best bet to sell him to those.
Hey, don't worry. Later, Maurice, is that his name? He is all about taking him to the circus in Mexico.
Oh yeah, for sure. I want to talk about Maurice. Is that his name? I don't remember.
Maurice. Let's call him Maurice. Oh, I love this band.
Yeah, I love this band too. I love how she's all like, he's an artist. He does great. And they're like, look at he's got such a great look. And she keeps talking about his look. And I'm all like, he looks like just an old boot. You know what I'm saying? Like there's nothing attractive about Ratboy. And they're like, all right, you got does he got an album? And she's like, no. So finally we get to this guy. which is Alan Reynolds and everything. Because and so she's like, look at this kid is great. And he's like, so finally she convinces him. He's like, listen, hey, you sexy bitch. I'm having a party tonight. You come to the party and bring your little friend with you and we'll chat then.
Oh,
So
yeah, but
she's
he's
like,
totally an 80s creepy guy that's like,
oh,
if you
yeah.
want me to help you, you better
Oh,
help
yeah, it's a
me
casting
out.
couch situation.
Yo,
and
for
everything.
sure.
So she's like, it's Alan Reynolds, you guys. And he's like, who's Alan Reynolds? She's like, he's only like the biggest guy in Hollywood. And I'm all like, that's crazy because I haven't heard of him
Casting
either.
director, is that
Like,
what he
yeah,
was?
yeah. So they take him to, Hotel Marmont, whatever this is. And they're like, hey, we brought some of your toys. You need to get your shit together for this big thing and everything.
Because you're gonna meet a lot of famous people.
Yeah, you're gonna you know what would have been the best is if Louis here, with Louis Anderson was all like, hey, listen, I'm gonna teach you how to smash the pussy. You're gonna get so much pussy at this party, buddy. You are gonna slay.
Yeah, Louis.
Yeah. He's like, I'm gonna show you how it's done and everything.
You're gonna get so sick of pussy. You're gonna tell your wiener like, "Hey, calm down. We gotta take a break."
Yeah. That would have been the best if he did. Okay, so then they also hired him an acting coach, and I'm all like, you gotta be fucking kidding. Oh no, that's later on. Okay, so then Louis all like, who's this Anderson guy and everything, and they're like, listen,
oh my god,
here's
every time I see that freak,
like, and right here, I love how he like touches it.
Even now that I know that was a different woman, I still think that looks like Sandra Locke.
Well, and my thing is once you know it's a woman, you can't not go, how did we not know he was a woman? He has boobs.
That's exactly what I thought the whole time watching. I'm like, man, I was a kid. I was a dumbass kid. I didn't see this was in a dude.
And I just love how this guy's all like, I'm going to help you, son. And he just like looks at his hand like, I'm going to eat that later.
Yeah, they get it.
Like you're invading my space, so I get to bite you now.
Like he smells an hors d'oeuvre or something like that. Mm.
Yeah, like we've got a Buddy Revell situation, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And so so then they finally get to the night of the big party, right? And they've got this kid in the back of a limo. And they're like, hey, fancy. And I'm like, limos are pretty fancy. And so in the elevator with Louis, she's like, listen, when I drop my coat, make sure you grab it and everything. And I'm all like, you are just a big con artist. I'll tell you what. So I love how she drops her coat and he just lets it fall to the floor. And she's like, oh, you fucking asshole. She's like, oh, Alan, this is Ratboy. And he's like, oh, look at it. It's disgusting. And everything.
Yeah. I love that.
And everything. He's like, I'm going to show you around. She's like, oh, Alan, and everything. So Ratboy's just walking around. And there's so many like weird fucking people at this party. There's this one lady, I swear, is just a meth head at the party.
She's got the long fingernails that just keep screaming.
Yeah, at one point she just gets up in his face with her fingers and is like, hey man, let's party. And you're like, bitch, you need to back the fuck up.
Yeah.
And everything.
Oh man, that's great.
Yeah, and then he bumps into like a little, and she looks at him like he's a freak, and she's like, oh look at the freak. And you're like, hey, Papa Elf, don't fucking judge and everything.
Oh, man, Sandra Locke, back up, midget.
Yeah. And I love how there's music playing, and this asshole, before there was iPods, is just playing the piano like he's playing the music at the party and everything. And I love how he stops and looks at Ratboy, and then he's just like, whatever, I'm fucking high. And he's just playing along with the music and everything. I'm like, what are you doing here, dude? What are you doing here?
Woo.
So then she goes out to the balcony, right? Because she's all like, I need some fresh air because I just got here. And this guy comes out because he's all like, oh yeah, I smell fresh meat. And Ratboy is just hanging out underneath the piano, right? He's just
so freaky.
And then this is a cameo from John Lovitz. I love him and everything.
John Lovitz, yeah.
And they're telling everybody that that they're his manager. They're Ratboy's manager, right? And so this guy, he works for like the LA Times or whatever. And she's like, oh, really? He cracks me
up because he's the snooty hostess from Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh my God, I was just about to say that. I think that he's lying here. He's like, I'm in LA for the weekend, but he's like, I'm a reporter for the LA Times and everything. But really, he's just a host at a fucking fancy restaurant, and
Dude, I would have loved that if they tied it into Ferris
Oh my God,
Bueller.
that would have been the best. That would have been the best. They
Like in
should
Ferris
try.
Bueller,
Really
he's like, it's like one time I tried to get some poon from this chick at a party once, but then they brought out the baby oil and I realized I was gay.
Yeah, and then they brought out the baby oil on a rat.
Yeah. They put a rat boy up my ass.
And then all of a sudden I was just like, oh, he's biting. It hurts. Okay.
I had to let him go when he turned around and just started scratching.
So then Ratboy, all of a sudden he's feeling bad about himself. So he goes into another room and starts ripping out his whiskers because he's just so upset. He's like,
which is so funny because aren't rats like cats? If they lose their whiskers, they like lose their equilibrium or some shit.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, they play like a serious role.
Yeah.
Well, so I'm like, he's ripping out. Then that'd be great if he just like ripped those out and then just like
started
went paraplegic on him.
Yeah, he starts acting drunk and everything. And then I love how this brother comes in. He's like, man, don't rip out your whiskers. That's what makes you unique. I'm like, stop lying to him. He needs to go to the gym. He needs to go. You guys need to get him some plastic surgery, not fucking, acting lessons. So then he's like, hey man, you need to just get out there and have a good time at the party. So then he comes back out because he's like, and he's like, hey, Nikki likes you, man. I know you like Nikki, but Nikki loves you and everything. So Nikki grabs, she's like, hey, come with me and everything. So they go out to the dance floor and they're just dancing, right? And at one point, somebody literally looks over to his friend and goes, hey, he's not a bad dancer. And I'm like, what? Are we both watching the same fucking Ratboy dance right now? Because all he does is like, he's just like, hold on, let me just like, all he does is just waving his, by the way, this is Bill Maher right here that says that. I want to talk about Bill Maher. He's my favorite cameo in this movie. So they're all dancing with him, and then she leaves with Bill Maher, and he's just dancing. And then in comes this fucking bitch, right? Now this bitch right here looks like the chick from Night of the Demons, right? And she's like, hey man, you're really crazy. Let's party. And I'm all like, you need to back the fuck up, Becky Johnson or whatever her name is.
And somebody gives him a drink.
Yeah, and somebody gives him some vodka or whatever. And he's all like, hey, I've never had this before, whatever. So Bill Maher, right? I don't know about you guys, but I've seen so many shitty 80s movies with Bill Maher, like a cameo with Bill Maher. And I'm all like, Bill, you couldn't get any better movies than these shitty, like, C-level movies back in the 80s. Like, he's in the movie House 2. If you've ever watched that movie, I'm just like, what's happening here, Bill? What's happening? Your acting career sucks balls.
Do you feel like maybe during the 80s, Bill Maher was like what Nicolas Cage was in like the early 2000s, just doing every film he could get in? Like,
I mean, now that you say that sounds great. That sounds legit. Okay, so this I want to talk about this one real quick, and then we'll move on. We'll move on fast. This guy gives him the alcoholic beverage, right?
Yeah.
And then he drinks it and he's like, oh, I didn't like that. It tastes bad and everything. And Nikki leaves and he tries to catch her on the elevator, but he just misses her, right? And then he starts feeling the effects of the alcohol, right? And he starts getting a little dizzy, right? And then he turns around, right? And there's that dude just look at him with those "I'm gonna fuck you" eyes. And I'm all like, he roofied Ratboy. He roofied Ratboy. I'm like, I'm sorry. Look at the way he's looking at Ratboy.
Says to him, "Are you okay?"
Yeah. Look at the way he is looking at him like, I'm about to. I was all like, he is about to go P. Diddy on his ass. And I was like, that, even though Ratboy's gross, that's still wrong. All right. So then Ratboy's
$20 is $20, bro.
Yeah. So then Ratboy goes over to the balcony, right? And he looks over the edge and sees Nikki get into this nice car. And he's like, Nikki, and he just hops over the fucking balcony, and everybody starts screaming and shit. And he starts climbing down the building like a fucking like Batman, but Ratman.
Like he found like some kind of cord or something. I'm like, where did this come from?
Like an electrical wire just hanging down there, and he's like, I'm Ratboy, I can grab a hold of anything.
Balcony that this rat is on. There's
you
one.
know when you said that, I just watched a video of a dude at a mall. Like he stole something. He was running away from the cops. So he jumps down from like a second floor and breaks both his legs. I would have loved it if that would have been Ratboy. Like just lands and his legs snap out. He's like, and it says the end.
Ratboy, we're making Ratboy 2 now. We have to make Ratboy 2.
We have to make Ratboy 2.
Yeah. Okay. So then he starts trying to chase after the car, but he loses the car, and then he's in downtown LA. He's like, I don't know where I am. I've never been here before because the only place I've ever been is at my parents' house and a cave.
Yeah.
So then he's like trying to read the paper with his face on it.
Because he hides behind a garbage can and a newsstand, and they just throw right in front of him tomorrow's LA Times. And he's on the front page.
So then he's in the wrong place at the wrong time, and he gets caught up in a hobo chase, right? So the cops are just rounding up hobos left and right, and they're like, they
do.
They do. And they're like,
definitely in LA.
Hands up, or I'll shoot and everything. And he's like, hands up and everything. And they arrest all these hobos. And he's hiding everything. And then he goes off to another encampment, right? Because the LA is just full of them. It's gross over there. And he's like, oh, I'm gonna take a nap in this shitty mattress. And then in walks Manny, right? And he's like, hey man, you coming here to take all my stuff? And Ratboy's just looking at him like, I don't speak this language. What language is this? And everything. He's like,
what stuff?
Yeah, exactly. He's like, did Heavy send you to collect the money? Because I told him I would pay him next week. And I'm all like, listen, first off, love your shades. Second off, you need to calm the fuck down, okay? Ratboy is not taking your stuff and he's not hurting you. I'll tell you that right now. So then he calls Nikki's brothers or whatever, and he's like, "Hey man,
apparently they put out some kind of reward for the return of Ratboy."
Yeah, and they're like, he's all like, "Hey man, I got your rat." And he's like, "You want your rat back? You need to and bring that money and everything." And then he's like, "Hey man, nobody's coming in here until 9 o'clock. We got the whole place to ourselves." And I'm all like, "I wouldn't eat there after that thing was in that restaurant. Like you have a vermin problem." So they show up in their limo.
Taking this limo everywhere.
Oh yeah, they're getting their money's worth, Vetta. They paid for that for a full 24 hours. They're getting their money's worth. So then they go to the bar, and Ratboy's playing pool with Manny. They're becoming best friends. And Manny's all like, they're like, we need you to teach Ratboy how to be cool. And he's like, you want me to teach him to be black? Man, he can't be black. He can't be black. He's like, you ever got into a fight with another person while holding a baby in your arm, or the other arm, and you can't be black. That's a reference to another movie. Okay.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
If you ever thrown a chihuahua off the top of the projects, then you can't be black. Okay. So then so he negotiates. He's like $1,000 a day, and I'm all like, I'm sorry, pardon. If I beg your pardon,
I think it was a week.
Oh, a week. Okay, maybe it was a week.
Still, either way, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, and they're like, okay, fine. You teach him to be cool and be his friend and everything. We'll pay.
And he has to stay with him like 24/7.
But yeah, but you'll be ready. You will be readily available as 24/7 until the press conference on Tuesday. So he's like, all right, man. So he gets Ratboy and he's like, hey man, let's hang out and everything. So they chill out and he decides he's gonna take Ratboy. Okay. So she comes in and she's like, hey, I heard you like me. She's like, we're gonna be best friends and everything. And she's all like flirting with him and being like fucking weird and shit. And then she's like, oh, gotta go. And it's like, oh, yep, just gotta leave, you know.
I just want to go, why did she not just take on the mother figure role instead of the flirty role? Like,
yeah.
So
because in this scene, she's like, I'd love to stay and chat, but I have to go fuck Alan Reynolds right now to get you a fucking press conference. So she leaves, and Manny's stuck with him, right?
But Manny's like, wait, they gave you money.
Yeah. So he takes him to Heavy here, and Heavy is trying to sell him some jewelry. And he's all like, this is $5,000. Now you can pay me in installments or what, or you can pay me when you get famous. And I'm all like, Heavy, we need to have a chat because
That's not how you run a successful business, dude.
because
Heavy's never getting his money back.
yeah, the jig is up, Heavy. Just so you know,
Luckily, Ratboy doesn't like any of the jewelry. He loves the like decorative bullshit that
he finds the
Heavy
thing
has.
you put in your bathroom as like a fucking decoration and everything.
And Manny's like, just put a price on it. He'll pay it. And they're like, it's $1,000. And Ratboy's like, okay, here's $1,000.
Yeah. So then these two are hanging out, right? And he's all like, hey man, you got to go to your thing or whatnot.
Which they never say what he's going to, do they?
He's going to
a
press conference.
And just ends up in an alley. No, the press conference isn't till later.
Oh yeah, that's right. I was confused. I think he was going to go talk
chocolates, and
I think he was going to like to tell Nikki how he feels about her or whatever. I was confused about this also, because then he goes into this alley, right, with a tux on, and there's this woman just singing, and she's just singing her little heart out. That little hobo
yeah,
woman.
That's so weird. The singing. I'm like, who wrote this script?
And then he eats the box of chocolates and it starts to rain. Like, I'm so confused by this part. And Manny is, he's
getting hookers. That's what he's doing. He's like, I'm gonna get Ratboy some pussy.
Dude, we should do this. Hey, real quick, we should do this again, but totally tell people a different story about this movie, so people want to watch it and nothing happens. Like, yeah, Ratboy at the beginning gets kidnapped by these dudes, then he gets raped in his cabin. Then this lady finds him and brings him to L.A., where he brings him to this party. He gets raped again, and the whole movie is just him getting raped. He eats this chocolates and he gets drugged in the alley where the hobos just rape him. Like, because I feel like that would be a way better movie than this.
It would, but we can't say that because it'll get pulled off by
he gets raped.
You're fine. So he's talking to these two whores, and Ratboy gets it. I love the face they give him, like what the fuck is it?
They're definitely confused.
Yeah.
And why does nobody be like, why do you have a little kid dressed up like a rat?
What Manny, you're going to jail, Manny, just so you know. But okay.
Well, that's why he wants to go to Mexico, because he won't go to jail in Mexico.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So he's sitting here. I think one of them's name is Zuzu, and was the other one Precious? Sure. I don't remember Precious.
I only remember Zuzu.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I'm about to say I remember Zuzu because it's weird.
Yeah. But okay, well, so we'll call the other one Precious because I don't really remember her name. And so I love, my favorite part was when he's like, Precious, show him the thing you do with your lips. And I'm all like, I don't think you can show that on a movie to children and stuff. I think you have
child.
Yeah, I think that's something that's very inappropriate, Manny. And everything. So then my favorite part of this whole situation, right, is when he's in the back seat, right? And he's all like, he's like, Nikki. And he's like, that's not Nikki, that's Zuzu. And then he's like, Nikki. And then he just starts beating the fuck out of Zuzu. Like, she didn't do nothing. He just starts hammering her with a fist. Like,
rat. Come on.
Yeah, and he just starts like gnawing at her legs and shit. And they're all like, calm the fuck down.
And she starts doing that thing that big sisters or big brothers do to their little, just putting her hand on his head, like, stay back, stay back.
And the car is swerving and shit. And the whole thing, I felt so bad for Zuzu because like Zuzu's a working girl. She shows up to work one day and then a rat attacks her for no fucking reason because she's not.
I say it's Zuzu's fault because that thing would have jumped in the car and been like, I'm out. I don't care how much you're paying me. I'm out of here. I don't care how much sweet jewelry he's wearing. I'm out.
Yeah, I don't care what disco ball he's wearing on his
head. I would have been like, I think this is a child in a rat costume. I am out. That is not what I do.
Well, they after this little incident, they do get out of the car, and Manny's all like, "Hey, man, you gotta calm the fuck down and everything." But like, Manny, maybe you should have thought about that before you brought the horrors into the car, okay?
And now he's like, "Oh shit, we got to get to your press conference," and I'm like, "Where was the pussy fitting in between the press conference?"
Yeah, and I love how he's all like, "Oh, it hurts. Read," and he's like, "Man, I can't read," and I'm like, Manny. Okay, maybe you shouldn't admit that. And then Manny starts making up the Timmy the Mouse story. He's like, and this dude was a cool mouse, Timmy the Mouse. And I'm all like, and then he falls asleep, right? So then he finally calls them, and he is late for this press conference, right? And what's her face? Nikki,
is getting pissed.
Yeah, she starts praying. She's like, God, if you just let this little fucker show up, I'll do anything. I'll suck a rat dick. I don't care. And everything. And he shows up, and she's like, where have you been, my little dude? And then he's like, ladies and gentlemen, Ratboy, or Eugene, or whatever they call
What did they say? He was going to recite a sonnet or something?
Yeah.
I'm like, what is happening right now? And
Right.
he recites his hobo police interaction.
Yeah. He's like, hands up, don't shoot.
Or I'll shoot.
I'll shoot. Oh, hands up. And he's like, and everything.
Yeah.
So then she's like, pull the curtain. He's all like, heck, and shit. And he fucking goes ape shit and starts running out. They send the security guards after him. Like, everybody's like, get him, and everything.
I think he has rabies.
Yeah. He's up on the fucking, he's up inside the stage where the security guards are fucking chasing him. He's swinging from lights and shit. He is getting away. He's on the balcony and everything. And everybody's like, get the fuck out of here and everything. Like, it's a fucking, they're being
like
attacked.
a zombie apocalypse has just happened.
And Manny grabs Ratboy and he gets him in the car. He's like, let's get out of here, man. And they find a bag of money. And he's all like, hey, man, we're rich. We can go to Mexico where the beautiful women and the salmon instinctively flock like the salmon of Capistrano and everything.
And you can be in one of those circuses.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, you can be one of those circuses, you little freak. And so they steal a car.
They steal a Corvette.
Yeah.
And that's not going to draw attention at all. A rat and a black guy in a Corvette in the 80s.
Yeah, and then they cross state lines. Or whatever, and they stop at this bar, and he's like, "Hey, man, I'm gonna go into this bar. You stay right here and protect." He's gonna
get him a sandwich.
Yeah. And so he's staying there protecting the car, and he brings out these two drunk bitches, right? And he's like, "Hey, you guys, listen. hey, stay here. I gotta go lock up my car
because I paid for that Corvette with all my money.
All my money, right?" So then he goes over to Ratboy, and he's like, "Eugene, listen, hey, man. This has been swell and everything, but I gotta go because there's two bitches over here waiting for me.
And I think I can do both of them.
Yeah, you stay here and protect. You stay here, dude, and I'll be back. The 10th of February, right? And so then he leaves, and that's the last we see of Manny. Manny does not come back because Ratboy.
We should say at some point during this crazy road trip, Ratboy knows Nikki's address and mails her a letter, and it is the fastest letter ever because he mails it the day before, like on the first day of the road trip, and then the second day she shows up.
Right. So he's just sitting up in a tree because that's what rats do, and he's just eating his fiddle faddle while he's thinking about Nikki, staring at the moon. And Nikki's she's looking for him because she's trying to find his birth parents or whatever. And like you said, Vetta, she gets allegedly she gets the letter. She's like Eugene and everything. And for some odd she grows a conscience, kind of.
Does she know?
I mean, this thing. So Ratboy, he's hanging out wherever he can. He's staying in like little tunnels or whatever, and he's being barked at by dogs and everything. And he runs to his old house and everything. And that's where Nikki finds him. And she's like, listen, I tried to find your parents, but I couldn't find them. I did my best journalism as that I could, considering the fact that she's like, I'm just a window dresser, and I need to accept that. And I'm sorry, Eugene, and everything. And she's like, and so they get in the car, and she's like, when this whole thing blows, she's like, oh, she gives him bubbles. She's like, I got a little magic trick for you.
Oh my God. And he thinks that they are the coolest thing since anything.
Look at the prosthetics on this chick.
Dude, I was just about to say, God damn, when they shot that dude, Ratboy was looking rough.
Hey, it's all night party.
Halfway through making them like, we're running out of budget, bitch. Get on the set.
They send her home and don't take it off.
Look at his ear. Look at the ear. It's all elongated and shit too. Look at it. Just a hodgepodge. Looks like Ellen just threw a dollar store costume on.
So then she's all like, hey, listen, we're going to find a place for you to hang out because they're saying you attacked all those reporters, which I love that. I'm just all like, those reporters are like, I was attacked by a giant rat.
I just love how he's public enemy number one.
Right, exactly. Like they're all like, they've got a BB
horrible.
on him or whatever. What'd you say?
Because he couldn't recite a sonnet.
Yeah, they're like, the fucker couldn't recite Shakespeare. Arrest him.
Yeah.
So she's all like, we're gonna, and then once this whole thing blows over, we'll bring you back or whatever. But unfortunately, a cop car is coming up.
He's hanging out the window like a dog, blowing
like
his
a
bubbles.
fucking asshole. And he's like, hey, I think that's that Ratboy they were talking about on all the news stations. I'm like, all the news stations. Okay.
All three of big networks.
Yep. So then they do a high-speed chase through, the outback of Alabama. And they come to this big red barn where one of the cops throws a grenade in there, with a smoke grenade.
Which I'm like, do cops just have those in their cars?
And do they just randomly throw them at rat people? Like, what's going on here? Like, they're just finding the closest hobo house and just throwing in a smoke grenade. So that's
how we do in the 80s, guys.
Right. Yeah, the 80s was hardcore. So then they take Nikki like into custody or whatever.
No, they don't arrest her. Don't they think they're saving her?
Yeah, you're right. So they and then Ratboy drives off with the car. And he drives off into these fields.
And other cops start chasing him.
Yeah. And he's just like,
didn't the cops just kind of show up out of nowhere? Like I feel like I remember. Yeah, they're just showing up, like.
Yes.
And then he crashes the car. Oh no, the cop car crashes, and he gets
Nikki,
out.
And they're all like, "Save me, help me!" And he's like, "No way!" And then they get on the radio.
I just want the puss.
yeah, fuck you, coppers. And so
that would have been the best if he would have said that.
Yeah, that would have been the best. So then they go off into this, mysterious wooded area because there was a lot of smoke in these.
So much smoke.
It's
I'm like, where'd this come from?
Yeah, there must have been a fire that weekend in California. So he takes her off. He lays her down. He's like, Nikki, and everything. And she's all like, what? Ratboy? Where are you? And everything. And I'm just like, I just want to say right now. So what's her face?
I have a boner, Nikki.
So Sandra Locke, she directed this movie. You can totally tell it was directed by a woman. God damn, is it bad?
My favorite is when he breaks the stone and makes like best friend necklaces. And
right?
Like,
yeah.
It's mine for you and not keep mine.
He's like, oh, your hair is so soft. your wig is so soft, Nikki. Anyways, so then they find him and everything. And like right here, yeah, this is the stone. Now, I'm not gonna lie, when he first picks this up, I thought he was gonna heal her with some kind of like forest
rat
magic.
Rat magic.
Yeah, I'm not even joking. Like I was all like, what is going on? Like while I was watching this, I was like, I don't remember this when I was growing up. But now that I'm watching it, I'm like, what's happening here? I was like, is he like got special healing powers now? And no, he like you said,
that's what rats are known for. Special
exactly. But no,
I totally was like, this reminds me of Fern Gully. He's gonna pull out the stone and like start healing shit. The whole time he could heal.
Yeah, and he's like, I love him. Yeah. So then she's like, Eugene. Well, Eugene's running, right? Because the cops, they're onto him, right? And she's like, Eugene, she's just running through the forest. And so then Eugene gets around this lake, and they shoot at Eugene, right, in this tree or whatnot, and he falls.
Dude, he is the fastest rat ever that he got
fastest rat ever. and so he falls into the water, right? But he can hold his breath because he's a rat. Yeah. And they think he's dead. And they're like, sorry, we couldn't find him in the river or whatever, the lake and everything.
They're like there's this pipe down there, but we don't think anyone could fit. Yeah.
And so they're like, we're sorry, he's dead, right? So then all of a sudden she gets this like little like glare on her face. And she finds the necklace, and then she gets this glare on her face. And she's all like, what? And she sees Eugene off in the distance in a tree. And he's shining it to let her know that he's okay and everything. And she I love the look she gets in her eye, like, oh, he's gonna be okay. He's gonna go somewhere. She's
like, all of a sudden
Eugene?
Her maternal instinct kicked in, and he's not a cash bag anymore.
Yeah, and then Eugene just starts running through the forest.
Waddles off. That's not
waddles off and everything. I'm just all like, and then the last shot we get of Eugene is just him frolicking in a fucking field, like House on the Prairie. And I'm all like, what kind of an ending is this? What?
Dude, I was
here?
Looking back, it would have been best if she saw him. She's like, he's over here. There he is. Get my money. Get my prize Ratboy back.
Right. So that was the end of the movie, you guys. Now, I just want to say, growing up watching this movie, I thought this movie was great.
I love this movie.
Now that I watch it now, I'm all like, this movie is great. I'm not gonna lie. I loved every minute of this movie. It was at points that it was slow and boring. I was like, I'm intrigued. I want to know what's going to happen next because I'm like, and then when they show up, like, at the party, I'm all like, what the fuck is happening right now? Like, I'm all like, so it was a lot of fun in my opinion. Yeah. Okay. Was there anything in this movie that you wanted to talk about that we didn't talk about?
No.
Marlon, was there anything you wanted to talk about before we wrap things up?
Not particularly. I just want, like, I remember this as a kid as being like a great film. Like when you said we were going to review this, I was like, oh, I'm excited to watch Ratboy. Then I'm watching, I'm like, this is not as good as I remember as a kid. It's entertaining, but the whole time I'm like, man, I fucking hate Ratboy. I would not have tried to make him famous. I wouldn't have tried. I'd have got rid of Ratboy. He was disgusting looking. Even when you're putting pictures up on the thing, I'm like, oh God, he is vile to look at.
I'm in the same boat. Like Ratboy was definitely annoying. Like I loved Louis Anderson and everything. But like I remembered him talking more when I was a kid. But
I didn't remember the baby gibberish at all. I was like, wait. But this movie made me realize, like, I'm like you guys. As a kid, I remembered loving this movie, and I like it now for different reasons, but it has made me realize in the 80s, they would make movies about anything. They could
anything the whole time.
Money. Everybody wanted to produce a movie. So they were just throwing money at scripts. They would make anything.
Yeah. I'm like, how did this movie get made? You could not we should write this script out word for word, change the names and change it from Ratboy to like something else and try to pitch this to see if anybody would even give us the time of day.
And then the fact that it had cameos by stars, like you're like, wait, how did they get these people to do this? Unless they were the ones funding it. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm totally with both of you. I thought that Ratboy was it was intriguing in terms of like it was funny, but not that great. But that one scene where he's in the car blowing the bubbles, I'm just like, man, this was low budget bullshit. But at the same time, it's so good because it's so bad,
Yeah.
Like how awesome would it be? They're just driving along. He's just like, hey.
Yeah, that would have been great.
Inappropriate.
He's just like starts pulling his shirt up and rubbing his
nipple. Well, before we wrap things up, I'm going to ask you one question. All right, I'm going to ask you one 2-part question, and then we'll wrap things up and everything. But the question is, overall, what did you think about the movie in like 1 or 2 sentences, and would you recommend? Marlon, we'll start with you.
What did I like about the movie? It was entertaining.
What'd you think?
It brought what? Say it one more time.
What'd you think about the movie?
It was terrible, but in a good way. Like it sucks so bad it like did a 360. Like it sucks so bad it was good. Like typical 80s movies that I love. And would I recommend it? Yeah, I would tell everybody if you got an hour and 45 minutes to waste on just some childish bullshit, watch it.
Yeah.
It would come with a warning though. Like it's not going to be good.
Right on. Vetta, what about you?
Yeah, I definitely would recommend this, but I would also go, have a couple cocktails when you're having it and
Oh, I know
Yeah.
I did.
maybe do some shots like every time he does one of his little gibberish things. Yeah. I mean,
Ooh,
or every time he says his own name, because someone will say Ratboy and he goes, Eugene.
Eugene.
But yes, this is definitely a recommend because it is that 80s, like, I don't know, it's just that genuine 80s movie that you just can't not watch. Like I said, they would make anything in the 80s and I'm here to watch it all.
I agree. I also would recommend it's like an 80s C or maybe D movie, but you're just all like it's just so much fun because you're just like what
Do we know,
nonsense is
was
gonna
this
happen?
actually ever in the theaters?
I don't, but I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say yes.
Because that would be
I'm gonna say
even
yes
more
too.
amazing.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna say yes.
If
And
they put this in
the
theater,
trailer was probably like Sandra Locke's production debut.
yeah.
It was
If
probably
they
like,
if they
come
put
and
if
see Rat Boy.
if they put this in the theater today, I would go see it in the theater. I would go to
Oh, for sure.
Do you ever hope, like, when they do all these movie remakes, a part of me goes, why aren't we remaking like these movies?
Yes.
Because that would be hysterical if
They
they
should make a sequel
remade
to this
Rat
movie.
Boy.
Yeah. I would make a sequel to this movie.
Yeah.
They did make
All
a sequel to this movie. Have you ever seen that prank show where it's like, "Are you in here, little demon man?" It's like the
Yes,
rat thing.
yes. All right. Well, we're gonna wrap things up if you guys are cool
Ratma
with that.
is the sequel.
Yeah, Ratma. Yep. Okay. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for listening to us. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at BS Drunk Pod to stay updated. Now, if you do listen to us on Apple Podcast or Spotify or wherever you get your podcast needs, please leave us a 5-star review, you guys. It really helps us out a lot, and we really appreciate it. Leave nice comments or not, whatever. Leave a comment and everything. We'll also be posting the video version of this to our YouTube channel, like I said before. So be sure to check us out there. Unless you're watching this on YouTube, hello. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Leave us a comment, leave suggestions to movies. We always love that. And also, you guys, we do have a Patreon if you guys are interested in checking that out. The thing about our Patreon that we do is we do review movies, but we review movie franchises. We go from movie 1 all the way to movie 15 if there is one, and it's really fun over there. We've done Scream, the Scream series. We've done Jurassic Park. We've done Bring It On. We've done all that stuff. It's really fun. And there's definitely different levels to suit whatever needs you have or whatever. And the link for that will be in the description down below. But most importantly, you guys, please don't forget to drink, recap, review, and repeat. Bye, you guys.
Bye.